Let's do this. The stock market, S&P 500 futures. That's right, they're better than the SPY and the SPX. But they're all basically the same. No, they're not. Yes, they are. Oh my gosh. Let's look at the weekly, the daily, and the trade of the day. This is a weekly chart right here. And quick reminder, as I said yesterday, I'll say it again today. The continuous contract right now is for December. Beware that. I think that expires the 15th of December, which is coming up pretty quick here in about 2 weeks. So I'm already trading the March contracts, but just be aware that that's flippy dippy. I don't like taking positions on contracts that are about to expire within 2 weeks when we're trading futures. So here on the weekly chart, you got nothing going on. A range of 30. Today's Tuesday. You can see it's already trading here for tomorrow, for Wednesday, because it's futures, of course, trading almost. They trade 23 hours a day. 23 hours a day. So, anyways, this is the weekly chart. And look at this little dinky candlestick right here. It's like nothing to this candlestick. Like nothing. It's like hardly a candlestick there. A range of 30 for 2 days. Obviously, we didn't really get a low on the November 26th, the week of November 26th, but we did get a stall on price. So here's that weekly low for the January 14th. SMI pretty high here, almost 78. MACD still trying to cross over. Not seeing any divergence warnings going on here, so we got to respect that, which basically means there could maybe be more upside to this. Maybe. But we'll look at the daily here in a second. I'm leaning towards the market's going to pull back, and we probably won't get a bounce any further than we are. Let's take a look at that daily. So this is the daily chart. Let me swing over and switch the drawing set to daily. All right. Now, just real quick for the members, some data came in today, pretty big data. Pretty big data. I just put it on the S&P 500 channel about the certainty rate. And make sure you read emails tonight. I'll give my opinion about what I think that all means. Now, for everybody else, look at this. 6 days in a row of just chopping sideways. 3, 6, and even 7 days back, it was touching this 45.66 resistance, just having a real hard time getting through it. Now, there could still be one more bounce up in here, like on the right-hand side of this big purple cycle out here, and then the dippy-do down into January 8th. But for the immediate future, we're only about, I'm sorry, I mentioned earlier, I thought we'd trade the 28th. Actually, futures already trading tomorrow for the 29th, my bad, for Wednesday. But for the immediate future, December 10th is the cycle we're looking at. So I'm not sure if we're going to get, as we get here, this is going to, I noticed today there was some buyers came in that tried to push the market up, didn't go anywhere. That's this candlestick right here. Didn't go anywhere. The range for the day, I think it was, what was it? 30 and a quarter. That was it. I mean, the candlesticks are so small right now, you can't even get them to barely show up on the chart. This was today's candlestick right there. 30 and a quarter. And it's been like that for 3 days solid, really small candlesticks. Of course, Thanksgiving was mixed in there too, but even going all the way back 7 days, everything's just touching here on this 45.66 resistance. So just looking at the candlestick pattern alone, the market's definitely stalled. Now here on the daily, divergence is just popping up everywhere. Lots of divergence going on. So momentum didn't get super high. I think the highest got was 65 maybe. Yep, 64. Okay. Which that may be all it does, because like I said before, it came from way down here. Negative 50, negative 55 area. So it's a long way for it to go. And look, all this money that was spent buying. Everybody's all bought out. Maybe. maybe. But the data that came in today, and plus this divergence that's going on here, and the MACD looking kind of pinchy, I think the market is ready for a pullback. Ready for a pullback down into December. And even if we do get this little bounce up here to 46.31, which is becoming less and less likely, but if it does happen, I still think we'll get the 100, 200 point drop. It just will happen from 46.31 rather than the 45.66. So take your pick. To me, it's not a big deal. You'll know when the drop's going to happen. You'll see a red candlestick like, it's going to paint a red candlestick like that. It might even be a little gap and then another one or something, whatever. So everybody's waiting. Everybody's just sitting on the sidelines, waiting to see what this market's going to do. Market's probably, I say 60-40, maybe even 70-30 pullback without much more bounce or even any bounce at all. Yeah, but there's still 30 to 40% chance this could bounce up into here and then do the pullback. Okay, for the members, make sure you read the email tonight. I'll put in there the not only what I think today's data says, but how much I think the pullback's going to be kind of on the minimum side. All right, I think I mentioned it last night in last night's email as well. Okay. And if you're not getting the emails or you don't want to get the emails, you can look on the server and you have to look through my post on the Discord server where all the members services take place. I posted it on there yesterday, I think. All right, let's take a look at the trade of the day. One more thing before we go trade of the day. This January 8th big purple cycle lines up with the weekly chart. I think it was January 14th. So it's pretty close within a week. So I expect the first or second week of January to have, pretty good pullback, maybe more than this December 10th one. Let's take a look at the we'll just look at the trade of the day here. So on the 15-minute chart for the trade of the day, there's also one or two really good trades on the 5-minute streaming chart for the members. Just the 15-minute chart that streams to the members, and there's a 1-hour chart. So there's 3 different charts that stream to the members. But here on the 15-minute chart, the GETUS Plus indicator really had a nice signal. And that was at 10:15 Texas time. Hey, look at this bad boy. Look at that. Wow. So it happened right up in this area. Just wait for the little rollover to happen. You even got a divergence dot there. Doesn't always happen, but it did this time. As soon as that puppy began to roll over. Right, because we don't want to go long up here, right? On this candlestick, warning comes in. You don't want to go long way up in here. Because there's a good chance it's going to pull back when it's this high. Plus the MACD was very high up in this area. Look how wide this MACD is. It was way above the 0 line, yeah? And a little while later, you get divergence here in the Big Daddy, which I don't really use this for the 5 or 15-minute chart, but sometimes it's useful. But here on the SMI and the streaming charts, you can see it gave a divergence warning, which is just even more incentive. So right there, easy peasy, 1, 2, 3, easy. Just take the trade right there on this second red candlestick. That's it. I mean, this whole area just tells you exactly what to do. It rolls over, you get a divergence dot. MACD is going to be a little bit slower to come around. That's fine. Take the trade right here. Bam. Get all this. Look at that. From about 45.72-ish maybe, came all the way down to about 45.53, let's call it. So 72 to 52, let's say, almost 20 full points. I remember looking at this in the middle of the day going, wow, what a nice trade. And I'd say maybe pick up anywhere from 14 to 17 points pretty easily in here. Okay, really nice trade on such a small day. Okay, it just goes to show you, I mean, the GETUS Plus indicators giving off some really nice signals. Okay, if you're patient, just wait for the turn. It's usually how it works. Not saying it's always perfect, but most of the time it's really very accurate. And this has been a tight market, as you just saw in the daily chart, for how many days? 6 or 7 days, and we're still pulling down profits off the service and off this algorithm for the GETUS Plus indicator. Really, really nice. That's what I use. I just use the GETUS Plus indicator. I use it in conjunction with the SMI and the MACD, even on a 15-minute chart like this. Be a little patient, wait for it to roll. Sometimes that's going to be this way going up, sometimes it's going to be coming down, whichever one it is. And just be ready to take your profits and get out. I didn't show. I had a little trade the other day as a scalp. It was the day before Thanksgiving. I had a little $100 scalp Thanksgiving Eve. It was a nighttime session. I scalp for $100, and I happened to use the hourly chart. So don't be afraid to take your profits. I'm not saying you should jump in and out of trades on for the Thanksgiving trade. It was an abbreviated session. I had to be careful not to just with that kind of low volume kind of activity. I still picked up $100, but just trying to give you the members some incentive, and those that may be thinking about becoming a member. The service has been pretty good. I've been using it. Of course, it's my service and I use it. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. We'll finish this video up here. Let's see what's going on here. I think I saw. Oh yeah. They were looking at this trade right here. This was this morning. So on the 15-minute chart, we just saw that we caught a really nice short side trade from high to low, right? And here you're catching a long side trade. Because of the market being as tight as it is, well, you can take trades in either direction. Today you could have taken a trade in both directions at different times throughout the day, right? So this one happened at 9:35 Texas time. Look at that. I remember seeing this candle kind of brighten up and take off, and I'm like, oh, buyers are coming in, someone's trying to push the market up. It didn't last long, but it still was more than enough to make some nice profit. Okay, I remember thinking about right there, 45.65 went up to 75. There, maybe a little more, about 11 or 12 points. This was about 6 to 8 points of profit right in this area. Maybe a little more. Maybe you get 9. Really nice, super easy. This one was easier. You up in here, you usually wait for this rollover, but see how it didn't roll over and it went back up? As soon as it got done doing this congestion stuff, you're in the trade going long. The MACD starts getting big and wide, bump, 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 going up. So you have to look at the GITIS Plus indicator and look at other indicators to help you decide direction. This is really good at timing, right? This is the timing. The GITIS Plus indicator is all about timing. Absolutely spot on. Okay. And then you have to decide, looking at other techniques, well, which way am I trading? Because a lot of times this would have come up and pulled back, but it just pulled back a little bit and took off again. As soon as it got out of this congestion, you want to get in the trade and go. Okay. Really nice. I mean, on an E-mini, you're making some nice change right there. Yeah. On the micros, okay, you don't make as much, but whatever your account can handle, you make that trade. So that's the other trade of the day right there on the 5-minute chart that I thought was pretty decent. So you want to know how to become a member? Well, I'm glad you asked. In the description right below this video on YouTube, or wherever this video may be, but basically on YouTube, there's a description right below the video. Make sure you read it very carefully so you don't have any problems joining. Once you get done reading that carefully, click on the link. It's going to bring you over to this GITIS server. You click on server shop, brings you over to this page, $7.99 a month. Okay. I mean, a lot of my members don't even think about the membership anymore. They just renew every month because they're making $100, $200 a day. Some of them are probably making, I'd say maybe 70, 80% of the time, maybe even more. I have members that are making profits every day. Sure, they're going to have bad days because nobody can have a perfect run. I've had members who've had runs for days and weeks without any losses. Of course, markets change and you have to be flexible and change with market. But my point being that I honestly believe if you're patient, you're not even going to think about the $7.99 a month. You're just not even going to think about it. The membership's going to pay for itself. If you just, what I would do is, in my honest opinion, join the membership, be ready to spend $24, $25 for 3 months, right? Be patient, learn how to use the service, learn how to use the GITIS Plus indicator, the streaming charts, make sure you're reading the emails, spend some time using and understanding the service. Might even don't do any trading at all for a while. Just don't trade. Just if you want to do paper trade, that's fine. Okay. And then when you're ready, I would do like a really small position, see how the service works, right? Get used to those GITIS Plus indicators for the timing and get used to how to read direction like I just talked about in this video, right? Because especially for new traders and even some seasoned traders, there are a lot of people trade nervous. They're jumping in and out positions. They don't know how to stay and weather some movement in the market. That takes time for a lot of people to learn how to do that. So if you're one of those people that's jumping in and out of trades, yeah, it takes time to learn how to time the trade, which the GETUS Plus indicator does, but then wait for the direction to go in your favor. Or some people, they get in a little too early, a little too late. So I hope this video a little bit earlier helped. And almost every day I talk about the trade of the day. I talk about how I enter the trades, okay? That's my opinion, how I do it. Or anyway, if you're interested in the service, you can join for $7.99. The GETUS Plus indicator and the streaming charts are down here. So if you join, just click on the streaming charts. You'll get the 3 streaming charts I talked about. The 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 1 hour. And the GETUS Plus indicator sends its, not only does it show it on the streaming charts, but it sends an alert to this channel right here. So if you have the Discord app on your desktop, PC, your laptop, your mobile phone, whatever, you can just set notifications on this channel and you'll get notified. You can look at the trade, look at the streaming chart, decide whether or not you want to make a trade, right? On these other channels, there's no streaming charts in these other ones, just for the S&P 500, but they still get alerts. So you get alerts for gold, crude oil, and the top 30 stocks for NASDAQ and the S&P 500. If you want to get the nightly emails I talked about earlier, put your email address in there. So if you're an existing member, you're not getting a nightly email and you want to get it, put your email in there. If you're going to join and become a new member, just make sure you drop your email in the emails only channel. I'll pick it up. You'll start getting the nightly emails. Okay, and there's some other pretty interesting channels in here. So almost every channel in here is members only, okay, except for this general channel, which is kind of just more of a hello channel. Okay, I ask, if you're going to join, please read the rules. Okay, the rules are in there. Basically, there's no refunds. If you don't want to get, if you don't like the service after a month, you don't pay for the next month. That's the rules. Okay. Now, I'm not going to refund $7.99. That's just ridiculous. People like to jerk you around, you know. They're that cheap, just don't pay for the next month. So that's the refund rule. But there's also some play nice with everybody else rules in there, and there's a couple other rules in there as well. Okay, so make sure you read the rules if you haven't done so already when you become a member. All right. If you have any kind of support issues, just drop it into the member chat. Don't drop it in the general. Drop it in here, and I'll pick it up and deal with it from there. Okay. All right, everybody. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time.